is the NBA on NBC. The 1994 NBA playoffs. Today, it's the Chicago Bulls versus the New York Knicks.
It is a 59-degree, partly cloudy day in the New York City area. And inside, within Madison Square Garden, it is heating up for Game 1 between the Chicago Bulls and the New York Knicks. A long-awaited series in two of the major media centers, already bringing forth much attention to what may develop into a very testy series. Hi, everybody. I'm Marv Albert, along with Matt Kukas. And Matt, in past years, Chicago felt that they had to get by Detroit in order to win a title. I know the Knicks feel the same way now about Chicago, and the Chicago Bulls are in the way of the New York Knicks, but the Knicks feel they are on the right track in that they have taken 3 out of 4 over the Bulls during the course of the regular season, and the physical Knicks certainly affected the Bulls. In those 4 games in the regular season, the Bulls held to 80 points per game. Turnovers, as you can see, were up. Field goal percentage dramatically down, and Bulls coach Phil Jackson is constantly reminding his team about the Knicks' physical style of play.
Well, I basically made some clips of our last New York Knicks Bulls game. Oakley banging Cartwright. Situation where Pippen gets pushed out of bounds and the foul call goes against, or the out of bounds call goes against us. Pippen trying to tap, Oakley on the floor. We get a foul call. The physical nature of the game, which we have to relate to, and you have to be poised about it. There's going to be confrontation at every position. And you just have to be able to take that kind of confrontation and play through it.
Well, Phil Jackson never lets an opportunity to go by to remind anybody and everybody that the New York Knicks physically beat up on his Chicago Bulls.
Well, it is a marquee matchup. Patrick Ewing and his New York Knicks going up against Scottie Pippen and a Chicago Bulls. Game 1 of the best of 7 in a moment. Welcome back to Madison Square Garden in New York. And we will check out the starting lineups first for the Chicago Bulls. One-time New York Knicks Pete Myers in the backcourt, along with B.J. Armstrong. And up front, another former Knick, Bill Cartwright, did not play much of the series against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen on the front line. For the Knicks, the starting lineup, Gilbert Davis and Derek Harper. In the backcourt, we'll see quite a bit, though, of John Starks. Patrick Ewing at center, coming off a very solid series against New Jersey. Former Bull Charles Oakley on the front line, along with Anthony Bonner. So we're getting set for game number 1 of this best of 7 series. A series that continues Wednesday night here at Madison Square Garden. That will be game 2. They'll face each other in game 3 Friday in Chicago, and then game 4 next Sunday in Chicago. The officials, Ed T. Rush, Jack Madden, and Ed Middleton. Pat Riley, 120 career victories in the playoffs. That is number 1 all time. And Phil Jackson, a man who has guided the Chicago Bulls to the NBA title the last 3 years, and that's a remarkable stat, 17-0 in playoff series, when he has not gone up against Chuck Daly, who took the Pistons to 2 championships. As always, we're joined on the sideline by the clever and knowledgeable Ahmad Rashad. Let's go to Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Marv. I had an interesting conversation with Horace Grant this morning. He said that in the past, in the playoffs, whenever they were in a deficit, a tough situation, they always could look over and find number 23, Michael Jordan. He said Michael Jordan is not here, so in effect, this is the first real test for this team to find out just what kind of team they are without Michael Jordan. Marv?
All right, Ahmad, the Knicks and Bulls meeting in the playoffs for the 4th straight year, and the 5th time the last 6 years the Bulls have won all 5 of their all-time playoff series against the Knicks. It will be Bill Cartwright and Patrick Ewing going on the opening tip. And over the years, Cartwright has played Ewing exceptionally well. Keeps him off the blocks. And and does a good job physically against Ewing.
And he gets away more from the referees than some of his backup centers will, like Luke Longley, Bill Wennington, and Scott Williams. The officials know how Cartwright plays. They respect that. It's physical, generally pretty clean as long as Bill keeps his elbows down.
Cartwright did not see much action in the series against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Knicks control the opening tip. Derek Harper handling against B.J. Armstrong. Now Ewing for Davis. Davis off the drive. Gilbert Davis has killed the Bulls during the regular season. Gilbert Davis 21 of 31 from the field, just under 68% shooting. Cartwright getting position, played by Oakley. So Bill Cartwright, who was acquired in the deal for Charles Oakley, able to hit on his first field goal attempt.
Well, in the history of the Chicago Bulls, as long as Cartwright has been there, they generally go to him early, see if they can get a couple of hoops, because they never know how long he's going to be able to play.
Ewing facing the double team and stripped by Armstrong. B.J. Armstrong for Horace Grant. Rebounded by Patrick Ewing.
Well, the Bulls are going to look to do that as much as possible. Run from turnovers, run from missed shots. They have to get some baskets from their defense.
And from time to time, we will see the Bulls go to the pressure defense. They only showed it in flashes during the regular season, and it has bothered the Knicks in the past. Ewing had to force it and hits. The shot clock down to 2. And Ewing has given the Knicks a 4-2 lead.
Well, the Bulls will just have to accept that. However, the primary responsibilities defensively, they want to stop Ewing, they want to double team him, and they want to shut down the shooting guards of the New York Knicks.
Pippen played by Bonner here at the start. He will get different looks. Cartwright looking very offensive-minded. Cartwright did not have any points at all in the series against the Cavaliers. 2 minutes have gone by, and the Knicks have a 4-2 lead. Ewing got the step. Try to unload it, and the call against the Knicks. Offensive foul. So the foul on Ewing for a charge.
Patrick being pressured out on the floor by Cartwright. He knows he can beat him off the dribble. Excellent job defensively by Scottie Pippen, stepping up to the dotted line and taking that charge.
Myers with the step. Myers going all the way. And Rush with the call down low, calling the offensive foul. Myers pushed out on Davis.
Pete Myers getting a half a step on Davis, but just threw that right elbow out ever so slightly. Oddly enough, the slot official was going to call a foul the other way, so a good break for the New York Knicks.
And a holding foul on Pippen. So the ball's going to the trap at midcourt. They feel that Harper is vulnerable. And they went to the double team, but Pippen was called for the foul.
Phil Jackson gave us an indication that Scottie Pippen might be guarding Oakley in this series. So far, it has not happened. Pippen is with Bonner and Grant with Oakley.
Harper off the mark. Bonner trying to keep it alive. Lands in the first row on the lap of Maury Povich.
And, of course, another big area that the Bulls are concerned about is the power and strength of the New York Knicks on their offensive glass. Chicago, not that physical team, is going to have to rebound very well to do well in this series.
Pippen played well by Bonner. Shot clock down to 6. Holding foul on Harper. Harper tied up Pippen. Harper was trying to help out on Pippen. So the Bulls get the new 24 and a technical foul. Technical foul on Harper, who complained about that call and was hit with the tee. B.J. Armstrong will go to the line.
Right away, Eddie Rush, the official, setting the tone for this game. He is just not going to listen to anything from the players, and he'll probably tell the coaches that before too long. I know Rod Thorne, the vice president of basketball operations for the NBA, wants the officials to set the tone because of all the things that have been going on. But since the problems of last week, it appears that things have toned down. The taunting and the trash talking has slowed considerably.
Knicks 4 and the Bulls 3. We're just underway here at the Garden. Pete Myers upset with himself with that pass slipping through his hands.
A good pressure defense by Hubert Davis. The game plan for New York is to shut down the first couple of options for Chicago, make them use the shot clock and take a bad shot.
Offer with room. Yes. The Knicks lead 6-3. Pippen on a pull-up for three. Yes. Scottie Pippen buries the three-pointer, and he has tied the game at 6. Now single coverage on Ewing. And the foul. Cartwright clipping Ewing in the face.
Well, right in front of the official. Bill trying to put pressure on, just slapping away there. Bill will probably get away with a lot more when Ewing does not have the basketball.
Davis. Oakley. Around Grant. Nice feed for Bonner.
Unbelievable. Great step by Charles Oakley to get in the lane, draw the defense, and a nice drop off.
And Pippen goes right back and draws the foul. The hit called on Bonner. For Bonner, his first.
Charles Oakley with a little up fake here against Horace Grant leaning. The Chicago defense collapses in the lane, which they do so well, but that left the opening for Anthony Bonner.
The Knicks 8 and the Bulls 6. 4 minutes gone by. Pippen with the step, taking advantage of the overplay, sets up Myers for three. Rebound, Cartwright. Cartwright now played by Bonner. Cartwright with the fake. Cartwright came up short. Hopper on the run. Hopper. Yes. The Knicks 10. The Bulls 6. The Knicks have hit 5 of their first 6 shots. Double team. Oakley came out, got a piece of it. Pippen tried to call for timeout, and he was tied up.
Scottie Pippen, in effect, the point guard now for the Chicago Bulls from the forward position. He is going to run plays on the middle of the fast break. Here he's initiating or trying to in the half-court setting, and it makes it very difficult because he also has to score and make plays, and it's always a little bit harder to do it when you have the ball initially. It's much easier when somebody makes that first pass to you.
And Pippen wins the tip. Off the weave, Pippen guns for three. Bonner comes down with it.
So far, the Knicks defense is pressuring the Bulls further and further out on the floor. In effect, forcing three-point shots by the Chicago Bulls.
As you see, Chicago only 2 of its first 7. The Knicks off to the good start. Bonner squeezing his way. Grant with the rebound. Now Oakley playing Pippen. Pippen going to his left to set up Grant. Yes. So Scottie Pippen with the good pass to Horace Grant as the Knicks were collapsing on him. And as we have discussed in the past, he is so effective when he tries to get his teammates involved early.
He told us today that that was his objective, but he also knows he has to score points. And as I say, it's much more difficult when you've got the ball initially on the offense.
Cartwright played Ewing well. Bonner stopped by Grant. With a 2-point lead, 6:15 remaining in this first quarter. Oakley switching off to Myers. Grant bottled up. Good play by Bonner. Here's Davis. Grant back. Davis to the front of the hook.
What a play by Hubert Davis. Scottie Pippen gambled for the steal at midcourt, and that sent Hubert Davis flying in one-on-one. But a terrific reverse shot.
It will be Nick Ball, but first a timeout taken. 5:44 to go in this first quarter, and the Knicks hearing it from the crowd. It's the Knicks 12, the Bulls 8. Over the years, Bill Cartwright, as we mentioned earlier, has played Patrick Ewing very effectively. We talked about that earlier with Bill.
Well, the big thing with Patrick is that He's going to touch the ball, we know, at least 25, 30 times a game. What we want to do is just alleviate those touches and catches and make somebody else handle the ball and shoot it. Patrick's such a focal point, not only defensively, but offensively. And if we can move him out, if we can bother his shot, everything that he does on the court, we must challenge.
Well, so far in 12 possessions, Patrick has touched it 8 times, but he's only gotten up 3 shots and making 1 of them.
And at the other end, Pete Myers finished off the break to bring the Bulls within 2. We come up on 5 minutes to go. In this first quarter, Marv Albert with Matt Gukas and Ahmad Rashad from Madison Square Garden. Ewing, Patrick Ewing with his second field goal, so he is now 2 of 4 from the field, and the Knicks have a 4-point lead. Both teams remaining the same following the timeout. Armstrong with the move on Davis. Yes, and it counts. They isolated B.J. Armstrong on Hubert Davis, and Armstrong did it off the dribble.
Well, Patrick Ewing with his pet move going into the lane from right to left, forced to take a tough shot by Bill Cartwright. Here, Ewing just covers up Bill Cartwright this time and gets excellent position, and on that fadeaway gets a much clearer look at the basket. Normally, Bill Cartwright inside tries to get around in front and deny. Bill's going to get a rest right now as Luke Longley replaces Bill Cartwright.
So Patrick Ewing will get a different look. Luke Longley at 7'2", 265 pounds. He is participating in his first playoff. Came over from Minnesota in the deal for Stacey King earlier this season. The Knicks lead by 1. They double up now on Ewing. Pippen providing help. Here's Oakley. Charles Oakley hitting over Horace Grant. The Knicks lead 16-13.
In the last game of the season, Phil Jackson found out Luke Longley cannot play Patrick Ewing, so on the catch, look for the Bulls to come and double team immediately.
Charles Smith getting set to come on for the first time for the Knicks. Grant set up by Myers. So the Knicks now lead by 1. Horace Grant with his second field goal. Hopper with the spin. Hopper with the fadeaway. Rebounded by Grant. And Pippen launches it down. Armstrong able to beat Oakley. Oakley gambled. And Armstrong has given the Bulls a 17-16 lead.
Oh, bad sequence there for the Knicks as Harper forced a tough shot. Didn't really make the Bulls play any kind of defense. And then the wild gamble by Bonner, I think it was, trying to make that steal open up an easy layup.
First time that the Bulls have led this afternoon.
Off the quick missed shot, it was Charles Oakley who took the bad gamble there, but that's what happens when you force tough shots, which is what the Bulls have to do to get out and get more than 72 shots a game, which is what they've averaged against the Knicks in 4 games, and more than 80 points.
Scottie Pippen with 4 assists. Here in the early going, Charles Smith has come on, as has Scott Williams for Chicago. Pete Myers sitting down. So Pippen moves into the backcourt. Illegal defense called for the first time. Scott Williams trying to double up, trying to help out on Ewing. Scott Williams very solid against the Cleveland Cavaliers. He has been the type of player over the years who has elevated his play come playoff time.
Scottie Pippen has now moved to a guard position, and he'll defend Hubert Davis.
Smith with an open shot. Well, both Charles Smith and John Starks able to emerge in the series against the Nets. Starks getting set to check in. Williams came up short. Longley kept it alive. Longley getting it over to Williams. Here's Grant off the pick. Yes. And the Bulls with a 1-point lead.
Horace Grant just hanging out on the perimeter, getting some nice draw and kick plays. One from Pippen, one from Pete Myers, and now Scott Williams delivers an easy shot for Horace Grant. And he can shoot that ball up to 17 feet.
Just under 3 minutes to go. First quarter, Ewing. Patrick Ewing powering his way in, draws the foul. Luke Longley committing that foul. It's the Bulls by 1 with 2:43 to go in this opening quarter. John Stark getting set to check in He's made it back from arthroscopic knee surgery, was having an outstanding season. Made it back in the series against the Nets. Started slowly, but came on in games 3 and 4. We talked with Knicks coach Pat Riley about the return of Starks.
He still isn't all the way back. Doesn't have the real explosive first step. Does not get his feet totally under him when there's a lot of pressure in his catch-and-shoot jump shot game. So, but he's making great strides. And if we can get the kind of contribution out of John that we got over in New Jersey, and also Charles Smith, that I think we're going to be fine.
Now John is starting to look frisky again, and as his minutes and confidence grow, so does his production.
In that first game against the Nets, he tried to take a charge against Johnny Newman of New Jersey and landed on his back, suffered a lower back bruise, but able to bounce right back. Also injured his right pinky the other night, taking a fall in the game against the Nets. Says it feels better. In fact, decided not to have it x-rayed. I would think he did not even want to know about an x-ray, even if there was a problem. Knicks and Bulls tied at 19 with 2:40 remaining in this first quarter. So Pippen now in the backcourt with Armstrong. Longley up front with Grant and Williams. Pippen now guarded by Starks. And Pippen banking his way and hitting. Scottie Pippen with his second field goal. He has 5 points. The Bulls lead by 2.
And even though Scottie Pippen has the height advantage over John Starks, you see the decision by Pat Riley not to come and double team.
Oakley with Ewing and Smith on the front line for the Knicks. Hopper and Starks in the backcourt. And Starks way off.
Wow. He almost hit the shot clock with that thing.
The Bulls have hit 6 of their last 7 from the field. A minute 45 remaining in the quarter. Again, a post-up move. A pass deflected by Ewing. Here comes Oakley. And Grant able to stop the ball. Ewing forced out by Longley. Good play by Longley, and then the bad pass picked off by Williams. Here's Grant. And the Bulls lead 23-19.
Well, that's the ability that the Bulls have to force those turnovers and get out and run, especially when Scottie Pippen has the ball in the middle. And a great job by Armstrong running it on the left side and Grant filling the lane on the right.
Starks for Ewing. Rejected by Longley. Shot clock at 6. Ewing with a spin, and he's called for a traveling violation.
Did I say that Luke Longley can't play Patrick Ewing? I'll show you. Did an excellent job going straight up and stoning Patrick Ewing on that first shot and then forcing him to a walk on the recovery. Terrific job by Luke Longley. The Bulls are not a team that blocks a lot of shots. Horace Grant is their best at maybe 1.5 a game. And Scottie Pippen will get an athletic block or 2 every once in a while.
Tony Kukoc, who played well in the series against the Cavaliers, has come on for the first time. Chicago in the midst of a 10-3 run. Just under 1 minute left in the first. Crowd wanted to travel on Kukoc. Longley. Williams trying to keep it alive and was able to deflect it off Oakley.
And Charles Oakley not happy with that call at all, or is the crowd at that end of Madison Square Garden who saw that play totally different than referee Eddie Rice.
Greg Anthony now in the backcourt for the Knicks, and he is guarding A.J. Armstrong. Half minute left in this first quarter. Pushing foul called on Anthony. So for Anthony, his first, and both the Knicks and the Bulls have 4 team fouls. New 24 though now for Chicago, and Phil Jackson getting his long-range shooting specialist Steve Kerr off the bench, replacing Scott Williams.
And Tony Kukoc will be very happy to move up to the front court. He was being guarded by John Starks, who had every opportunity on that last possession, just belted Kukoc every time he went near him.
Bulls with the ball and looking for a final shot. In this first quarter, they lead by 4, turning it up after the slow start. Kukoc working against Smith. Down to 5 seconds. Here's Longley. Ewing went down, trying to draw the foul. Jack Madden said no. Starks floating it up for Anthony, who was able to get it off. And that's the end of the first quarter. A hot finish by Chicago. Horace Grant hit his last 4 shots. He has 8 points. Grant with 8 points, 3 rebounds, and a blocked shot. The Bulls 25 and the Knicks 19 after 1 here at Madison Square Garden. Well, this is a familiar clip from the archives to New York Knicks fans. 24 years ago to the day, Willis Reed making his dramatic entrance. Game 7 of the NBA Finals against the Lakers. Reed had injured his hip in Game 5, missed Game 6. Dramatic fashion, hits the first 2 baskets of the game in Game 7. Knicks riding that emotion of Reed's presence, defeated the Lakers 113-99, winning their first ever NBA championship. And there's the coach of that New York Knicks team. He's on the left of your screen, not the right. That's Ahmad. Let's go to Ahmad with Red Holzman.
All right, thanks, Marv. Coach, 24 years ago to the day you guys won your first NBA championship. What are your memories about then?
Well, it was very exciting. You know, we never won a championship in New York, and the fans and everybody else were really getting into it, and we were quite thrilled with it.
It was very important that Willis did come out and play in that game, because I understand the game before, Wilt Chamberlain had 45 points.
That's right. Well, psychologically, when they saw him, they had sort of a letdown. Didn't expect him to play, and he came out and did a great job. But the guy that did it for us was Clyde Wall-Frazier. He had some great stats in that game.
Any thoughts about the Knicks this year in the championship?
I think they got a very good chance to go all the way. You know, I don't want to put the whammy on them, but everything has to fall into place. We got a great coach, and I think we got a great team.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. All right, back to you, Marv.
All right, Ahmad, yes, in that game, Walt Frazier led the Knicks with 36 points and 19 assists. Chicago now with a 27-19 lead on the Knicks with a minute gone by in the second quarter. John Paxson has come on for the first time for the Bulls. He and Steve Kerr are now in the backcourt. Here's Herb Williams for Patrick Ewing, who was held in check. Ewing sitting down 2 of 6 from the field, only 5 points. The Bulls in the midst of a 14-3 run.
And the transition defense of the New York Knicks is getting brutalized right now by Chicago. Every turnover by New York, every missed shot, the Bulls are turning it into a good scoring opportunity.
Open shot for Charles Oakley. Rebounded by Scott Williams. The Bulls have certainly quieted down this Garden crowd. That's an offensive foul on Kukoc.
Tony Kukoc has that ability as a 6'11" slender player to beat people off the dribble. Primarily, he'll go to his left hand, and that time he thought he had that corner turn, but he pushed off.
Anthony Mason checking in now for the Knicks for the first time. Anthony Mason has always been effective against the Bulls. His playing time cut down because of the emergence of Charles Smith. Off the steal, here's Paxson leading Williams. The tip by Longley. He was able to keep it alive, and he was fouled. So Luke Longley will go to the line. Herb Williams called for the foul.
And this fast break chance all started with an outstanding defensive play by Tony Kukoc, not known for that particular aspect of his game. Scott Williams just could not get the feet straight there on the alley-oop, but a good job of Luke Longley running the floor and getting another chance at the offensive rebound.
That has been a hot shooting Chicago club. 11 of 19 from the field in the first quarter. They hit 8 of the last 10. Kukoc for 3. Tony Kukoc from downtown, and the Bulls have opened up a 30-19 lead, and Pat Riley has called a 20-second timeout.
And on Kukoc's release of that three-pointer, he was shoved in the midsection and let the referee know about it, missing a chance there for a possible 4-point play. Kukoc, who had a rough season in and out, was kind of taken to task many, many times by Phil Jackson, but they feel he can rise to the occasion in the playoff setting. Look at the midsection of Tony Kukoc there as he got pushed and shoved by Charles Smith. But Kukoc playing in so many European championships. He was the 3-time European Player of the Year as he shows the official exactly where he got hit on that shot.
Well, Tony Kukoc turning it around in the series against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Tony Kukoc in Europe championship tournaments certainly brought out the best in his game. European Player of the Year on 3 occasions. Steve Kerr called for that foul. Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant sitting down. So Phil Jackson has a combination of Longley with Williams and Kukoc. And Paxson and Kerr in the backcourt. And the Bulls with a 30-19 lead. Here is Mason. But Kukoc got a piece of it. And the Knicks have missed their last 6 shots. The Bulls with a 17-3 run. Chant of defense from the crowd. Longley rebounded by Williams. Scott Williams hustles it down. And his pass deflected out by Longley. Timeout called with 9:32 remaining. Second quarter. The Bulls lead by 11.
Go, baby. Go ahead.
Well, we're very early in the game with 9:32 remaining, but the Chicago Bulls off to the fast start. They lead the Knicks 30-19. The Bulls coming off a series, although they swept the Cleveland Cavaliers, did not have an easy time against the Cavs. A series that ended last Tuesday as Charles Smith is able to hit. While the Knicks come off a win at 4 against the New Jersey Nets. Paxson off the mark. And a loose ball foul is called on Chicago.
I'm sure, Marv, a lot of people will point to the fact that the Bulls have had time off, the Knicks with only 1 day. I'm sure Pat Riley and his team will not make excuses. They are just flat out getting out-hustled, getting beat the loose balls and offensive rebounds. They know the drill with the Chicago Bulls. They know how they want to play the triangle offense, but there is a little subtle thing going on with Chicago's offense that they spread it out a little bit. They're letting the New York defense spread it out, but it's giving them more open lanes to the basket and not letting the Knicks pack it in and pound that glass.
The Chicago foul was called on Scott Williams. And now Jack Madden with the call as Smith was looking for possession against Grant. And Horace Grant is charged with his first.
A physical play inside as Grant trying to get over the cross screen by John Starks, trying to front, trying to be as physical as possible with Charles Smith. And of course he got caught.
Herb Williams with a jump hook. And that is a long-range jump hook by Williams over Longley. So the Bulls now lead by 7. Paxson and Kerr at the guards. It's now Grant with Kukoc and Longley up front. Smith got picked off. Nice ball movement by the Bulls. Paxson not able to hit though. And a loose ball foul is called against the Knicks.
Again, the extended defense by the New York Knicks, but the Bulls handling it very well. Good spacing, getting rid of the ball quickly, getting good shots, and that's enabling the big guys for Chicago to get on the offensive boards. Really nothing the Knicks can do about it except box out better.
Charles Smith picked up his first foul. Lead for Longley, caught Williams. Yes, and it counts. Luke Longley going backdoor to beat Herb Williams, and Anthony Mason came over and committed the foul.
We're seeing something strange out here, although Horace Grant is back into the ball game now. But Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant sitting on the bench in Chicago. Now Patrick Ewing and Charles Oakley getting a rest at the same time. That probably doesn't happen in 82 regular season games.
Luke Longley has hurt the Knicks 5 points and 4 rebounds for the native of Australia, and he's given the Bulls a 10-point lead. 4 minutes gone by in the second. Starks on a quick release. Yes. John Starks with his first field goal.
John Starks comes off screens as well as any player in the league right now, along with Reggie Miller and Joe Dumars. And, of course, the Knicks set terrific down screens for their shooters.
Bulls by 8. Kukoc for 3, and he hits again. That's his second from downtown. Tony Kukoc with the stroke. It began against the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was not getting the playing time, as you mentioned, during the second part of the season, but has really come on. Oh, what a recovery by Herb Williams. Knicks had coughed it up, and Williams able to recapture. Bulls lead 36-27. Anthony respecting the outside shot of Kerr. And Mason with the hand check on Kukoc. Crowd wanted to travel on Kukoc. Shot clock at 2. Grant just didn't get it off. Rebounded by Longley. Here's Kerr for 3. Yes. The Bulls are hitting their three-point shots.
Well, long jump shots result in long rebounds, and the New York Knicks are getting caught too close to the basket, and in some cases, right under the rim. You're not going to get defensive rebounds there with the long jumpers.
Holding foul against Paxson. Chicago is 4 for 7 from three-point land. 6.5 remaining in this first half. In Chicago with a 12-point lead. Tony Kukoc has hit 2 of 2 from downtown here in this first half. Tony Kukoc, the rookie from Croatia. He has been an international star since the age of 17. He's really come on here in the playoffs. We talked about Tony with Chicago coach Phil Jackson.
Tony's a money player. I mean, he likes critical situations and clutch situations. I think playoffs is his bread and butter. He's always been a championship-type player, World Cup, international play. All the plays that, come up that are big in the season, he'd like to be part of. I think that he'll show good in the playoffs. I've called him the X factor for our team. He's got to play well for us to do well. And his biggest adjustment is going to come in this series.
There's no question Tony looks like a much more confident player. 2 for 2 today in threes during the season. 32 for 118. That's just 27%. Keep in mind, 33% from three-point land is good. That's around 50% if you were shooting twos. And the reason why he missed so many during the regular season, his legs looked heavy. He did not have enough oomph in his shot. His upper body was built up. But he looks like a smooth player today.
Game 2 of the series against Cleveland had a team playoff record, 10 assists in the first half. Bulls lead by 10. Halfway through the second quarter, Chicago with a huge advantage off the boards as they have severely out-rebounded the Knicks. This time Smith was able to snatch it from Longley.
That time the New York defense shut down the first couple of options of the triangle offense, forced the Bulls to take a bad shot, and they clean up on the boards.
Patrick Ewing is back replacing Herb Williams. Smith. And Longley gets to it. For Scottie Pippen. Nice backdoor pass from Longley. And Armstrong applied the finisher. Bulls lead 41-29. What a terrific first half for Luke Longley.
And that was too easy an entry pass to Longley in the post. Normally the Knicks try to shut that off. And anytime the ball goes in the post, who's ever in the corner makes that hard baseline cut. They don't always get a layup as easy as that.
Ewing finding Mason, but he was blocked. Mason again. Anthony Mason with the follow, and the Chicago lead is 10.
This is the big fear of the Chicago Bulls, that the Knicks will just play volleyball on that offensive glass. They've got the power and strength with guys like Oakley, Ewing, and Mason and Smith.
Starks with the steal. And Kerr with a very light foul.
And there's that clear path to the basket. It originated in the backcourt. The steal by John Starks off the lazy pass by Tony Kukoc. And watch it right here as Starks breaks through. And Steve Kerr fouling him, even though he was in the front court on just a little touch. But because the play initiated in what was now the backcourt of the Knicks, that's that clear path to the basket and 2 free throws for John Starks.
Well, Scottie Pippen had sat out. this entire second quarter, and with 4:48 remaining, he comes on. Chicago able to outscore the Knicks 16-12 while Pippen was getting his rest. Phil Jackson trying to preserve the stamina of Scottie Pippen. The Knick philosophy, and I know it was the Cleveland philosophy, was to try and wear down Scottie Pippen. So Scottie getting the rest here in the first half.
Of course, Phil knows that in any kind of close ball game, and in just about any game they play in any series, Scottie Pippen is going to have to play heavy minutes. So if there's a ball club and a group that's playing well out there, why not give him a breather?
And the bad pass will give the ball back to New York.
Combination bad pass. It was also tipped, and also Scottie Pippen got hammered from behind by Anthony Mason.
4.5 remaining in this first half, and the Bulls lead by 8. Bulls got to the big lead with a 17-3 run. This starts. Ewing trying to keep it alive. Back comes Pippen, tripped up. Oakley.
Scottie Pippen breaking out of there nicely. The inadvertent trip by Charles Oakley from behind just clips the foot of Scottie Pippen, who loses his balance and goes down.
Now Greg Anthony will sit down. Derek Harper returns. Looks like the Bulls want a 20-second timeout. 4 minutes, 11 seconds to go in this first half. And Pat Riley and his Knicks trailing the Bulls by 8 points. Chicago is led by as many as 12. Game 2 of this best of 7 here at Madison Square Garden. On Wednesday night, then the scene will shift to Chicago Stadium. Game 3 on Friday night. And Game 4 next Sunday. And we'll be on hand next Sunday right here on NBC Sports. This is the third part of our triple header coverage. Earlier today, Atlanta knocked off Miami 102-91, so the Hawks take that series in 5. Kevin Willis able to turn it around with 24 points and 12 rebounds for the Hawks. And then in Game 1, Phoenix knocked off Houston 91-87. Charles Barkley, 21 points, 12 rebounds. For Charles coming off the 56, that's a low-key effort.
I'm sure he saw a few more double teams than he did the other night.
Kevin Johnson, 20 points and 12 assists for Phoenix. Steve Kerr. Well, a one-time Phoenix Sun, one-time Orlando Magic. Steve Kerr giving the Bulls a 10-point lead.
Off the dribble. You don't see that too often from Kerr, with the pressure defense of the Knicks, forcing the Bulls to put the ball on the floor and try to make something happen.
Oakley saving that pass, rejected by Grant. The Bulls contesting every shot from in close. Here's Pippen. He changed his mind. Steve Kerr getting lots of playing time. Cartwright is back. Cartwright with Pippen and Grant up front. 5 on the 24 and a foul against the Knicks. That is the second called on Oakley.
Ahmad Rashad telling us that the Bulls bench imploring the Chicago Bulls at every timeout, we've got to get the ball inside more. Too many shots from the perimeter, too many people having to put the ball on the floor and trying to beat people that way. Get the ball inside and make their defense react, and that time they got it in cleanly to Big Bill Cartwright.
And both teams are over the foul limit. Cartwright only a 68% free throw shooter. Bill Cartwright had sore back problems most of the season. He's been injury hit throughout his career. Spent 8 years as a member of the New York Knicks. Began his career as a major offensive threat. As a rookie, averaged 21 points per game for the Knicks. Bulls lead by 11. We come up on 3 minutes remaining first half. The Knicks front line has been quiet. Charles Oakley only 1 of 5 now, and the foul is called on the Knicks. It's a loose ball foul on Mason. Timeout called just under 3 minutes remaining first half. Well, a look around Madison Square Garden this afternoon finds Woody Allen, who is a regular here for Knicks games, going back to the championship seasons in the early 70s. Sharon Stone, who has been on hand on a number of occasions. Bernard King, one of the all-time great New York Knicks players, man who averaged 31 points per game for the Knicks in the playoffs.
Well, the Knicks, should say the Bulls at the free throw line right now, they went to the line the second fewest amount of times to the Detroit Pistons, and it's one of the reasons why they've had so much trouble getting into the pressure defense. Let's see if they extend the defense here.
Scottie Pippen with 7 points, along with 5 assists, so he has been looking to distribute the ball where he is so effective, and Pippen is now guarding Mason. The Bulls now lead by 13. It is their biggest lead of the game. 2:40 remaining in the half. Starks coming up short. Pippen, met by Ewing, changed his mind, and the Bulls will regroup. It has been a very flat first half performance by the New York Knicks. Armstrong with the off-balance shot. Oakley gets to it.
Good defense by the Knicks, forcing that tough shot. The extended defense after the last free throw by Chicago kept the Knicks from breaking the foul line to start their offense until the 8-second mark.
Starks eluding Kerr. John Starks with his second field goal. He has 8 points. The Bulls 46. The Knicks 35. Armstrong, foul. Hard foul by Harper. Good setup from Cartwright for Harper, his second personal.
Nice cut by B.J. Armstrong to get into the lane, and B.J. not very happy at all by this hard foul on Derek Harper. He thought it was excessive and possibly even flagrant. Yeah, flagrant. One of those two.
You know, that is a new category that Ralph Vaughn has been examining.
Excessive, we need another ruling. Again, another opportunity for the Bulls to extend that defense and force the Knicks into something different. They would like to show some zone trap in the full court. They'd also like to show some half-court trap. Anything to disrupt the Knicks from getting the ball easily into Patrick Ewing, where the Knicks can do their thing.
B.J. Armstrong only averaging 10 points a game against the Knicks in the regular season. The 4 meetings, 3 won by the Knicks. B.J., though, dropping off overall in the second half of the season. One of the league's better free throw shooters at 86%. And he extends to a 48-35 Chicago lead. Armstrong able to knock it away. The steal by Armstrong. Pippen with a gorgeous ball fake. He had Harper looking the other way. What a move by Scottie Pippen.
Well, he had everybody looking the wrong way, including me. I watched the fake. He somehow or other pulled that ball back and finished nicely.
But Harper comes back by hitting a 3. So the Bulls now lead 50-38. Just under 1 minute remaining in the first half. Knicks doubling up on Pippen. Myers had just checked back in. Here comes Oakley. Oakley on the drive. Strong move by Charles Oakley.
Handling the ball like a guard that time. He had his head up all the way and was determined to go right at Pete Myers and take the ball to the rim.
Bulls lead by 10. 20 seconds remaining in the half. 10 on the 24. Shot clock at 3. Pippen has to force and hits. Scottie Pippen drills it home. He has 11, and the Bulls lead 52-40. Final seconds of the first half. Hopper got the step. Oakley draws the foul. with 1 4/10 seconds remaining in the half.
B.J. Armstrong gambling here into the passing lane. Never really touched that ball on the first go by, but Hubert Davis was watching B.J. as Scottie Pippen cleaned up and finishes off the play. And I wonder how many shots that Scottie Pippen has to take with the shot clock winding down. 4, 3, 2, 1 seconds. He probably has about 400 or 500 points on that all season long, but that's what Michael Jordan did for so many years for the Chicago Bulls. And triangle offense, whatever kind of offense you want to run, you have to have players that when the plays break down, they can make something happen with the shot clock going down.
Phil Jackson setting in his long-range bombers. Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc. A second and a half remaining.
Look for Tony Kukoc or Grant to step out of bounds and throw the long pass to Pippen at about the top of the key area. Patrick Ewing will be there to try to defend him.
Bulls lead by 11. Down to 10. And here is Kukoc popping it down. Pippen with the fake, and Pippen just off the mark. Oh, Matt, you mapped that one out. But Pippen came up short. A superb first-half performance by the Chicago Bulls. Scottie Pippen, 4 of 6, 11 points, 5 assists. B.J. Armstrong with 10. And John Starks led the Knicks with 8. Here's that final attempt by Pippen. Pass by Kukoc right on target at the half. Game 1 of the best of 7 here at the Garden. Bulls lead by 10. Stay tuned for the Prudential halftime report with Bob Costas. With none in the first half. Mallet scoring by the Bulls. Scottie Pippen with a superb half. 11 points in all. Armstrong with 10. 8 for Grant, 6 for Kukoc on the 2 3-pointers. While the Knicks do not have anyone in double figures. John Starks off the bench leading the way with 8. Derek Harper with 7. Charles Oakley only 6 points. And Patrick Ewing 2 of 6 from the field, 1 of 2 from the line. 5 points. That's it. The Knicks during the regular season took 3 of 4 over Chicago. The Knicks with a home court advantage coming into this series. That, of course, the case last season when the Knicks opened up by winning the first 2 games and then dropped the last 4. But if the Bulls win here in game number 1, it just eradicates that home court advantage.
Like all teams who don't have that home court advantage, and the Bulls have made no bones about it, they want to come in and steal a game. And normally what you have to do is hang around, give yourselves a chance. Don't let the crowd get involved. This crowd is starting to get a little bit antsy.
So the Bulls have shot just under 44% on the season against the Knicks with a good first half here today. And Scottie Pippen able to add to that and extends to a 12-point Chicago lead.
Well, the Bulls continue to beat the Knicks off the dribble, get into the lane, and every time they do, some kind of good shot turns up. A beautiful back cut by Pippen on that play.
Patrick Ewing immediately drawing the double team. Ewing able to hit over Cartwright. Myers dropped off, and Ewing took it right at Cartwright.
Well, the 2 main points that Pat Riley had to make at halftime was, first of all, transition defense. Let's make it, get back quickly, make the Bulls set up, and we've got to get the ball inside the pattern.
Cartwright, Grant, Pippen, up front, Myers and Armstrong in the backcourt. Cartwright is forced out. Down to 3 on the 24. Pippen. Scottie Pippen going glass on Anthony Bonner, and the Bulls now lead 56-44.
That time the Bulls running their triangle offense to perfection, almost as if there was no defense being played there. And Myers with a little curl cut, nice pass inside, just a clean look at the basket.
Harper fired, and Grant to the board. Open up this second half with Bonner playing Pippen. Oakley on Grant. 5 of the 24. Armstrong for 3. B.J. Armstrong beating the 24-second buzzer, and the Bulls match their biggest lead of the game.
B.J. worse that time as the Bulls making a concerted effort to make sharper cuts, and DJ just outran Harper.
Charles Oakley presented the open shot. We were talking about that yesterday with Phil Jackson. Despite the fact that Oakley has been hitting the outside shot, Phil says we'll still give it to him. We prefer to see Oakley taking that jump shot.
They just don't think he can make enough. They're more concerned with him on the offensive boards. They want to stop Ewing and the shooting guards of the Knicks.
And the foul is called. It's on Bonner, his second.
Shot clock winding down. The Bulls getting into a little weave action as Armstrong came hard. He knew he did not have much time, but got a good look at the basket. He's one of the top three-point shooters in the NBA. Led the league in that category last year.
Pippen hit the deck. Thought he was fouled. Hopper on the run, setting up Davis for three. Lead 59-46. 3 minutes gone by in the third. Shot clock at 4. Pippen. And Cartwright gets to the loose ball. New 24 for the Bulls. Pippen had it knocked away by Bonner. It will be Chicago possession.
The triangle offense presents a lot of jump shots for you, but what it also does is help the big fellas know when the shot is going up and where the good rebounding angles are. It's one of the reasons why Horace Grant is a good offensive rebounder. He has the natural instinct to do it, but I think the offense also helps him find that many more.
Pippen. He had the clear shot. Otter went down. He's all right. Knicks appear to be disjointed.
Everybody's falling on the floor. The ice must be coming up through the hardwood. Yes.
Here's Oakley. And it's an offensive foul. They are just out of sync.
Well, nobody can keep their feet. People slipping at midcourt, people slipping in and around the basket as Pippen takes a shot from Patrick Ewing. Patrick got away with that one, but then I should say Pippen once again going to step up to that dotted line to take a hard hit from Charles Oakley. As you said, Amar, they are out of sync offensively, and I still don't think you can blame it on just the one-day rest. The Bulls are just outplaying them right now.
Anthony Bonner sitting down. Pat Riley going with 3 guards as John Starks has checked in and has called for that reach-in foul. Starks committing his first. The Knicks with their second team foul.
And it's an unusual-looking lineup for the Knicks right now with 3 guards: Starks, Harper, and Hubert Davis. Pat Riley searching for a combination to get some energy, to get some enthusiasm, so the crowd can get behind this team so they can get back into the ballgame.
And Starks with a very difficult assignment going against Pippen. The Knicks actually overran that rebound. Both Oakley and Ewing over anxious, but they are able to gain possession. The Knicks put the ball down by 13. Starks pass on the 3. And then comes up short. Ewing shooting. A bad start for the Knicks here in the third quarter. Double up on Pippen, and he was able to, they say a palming violation. Phil Jackson felt he was pushed.
In the first half, when the Bulls went inside to Pippen against Starks, they didn't double team on the first possession. You got an easy turnaround jumper. Now, the last 2 times it's happened, Patrick Ewing has come over to double team.
Davis, loose ball foul call against the Knicks. It's on Ewing, his second.
Well, Ewing and Oakley making all kinds of effort on both backboards, but they're both banging into each other, bumping into each other. They just can't get their hands on the basketball and get a good shot. The last jump shot that Ewing had, he really measured it and did not look comfortable taking it, and it was a wide open look.
Ewing coming off a very powerful game against the Nets on Friday night. floor. And Armstrong able to hit, but won't count. Foul before that shot attempt. The Knicks take a timeout with 6:39 remaining in the third. Welcome back to Madison Square Garden. Bulls by 13, 6:39 left in the third quarter. These Chicago Bulls have had a remarkable season when you consider they have been doing it without a fellow by the name of Michael Jordan. I asked Scottie Pippen earlier, does he feel that Jordan is out there watching here today?
I'm sure he'll be watching. He'll be pulling for us and, you know, wanting to tell us the right thing to do out on the court. But, you know, it's a little voice hanging over my head telling me, you know, that he's going to be there and trying to help me make the right decisions throughout the game.
Scottie has now come clean regarding that imaginary voice that is prodding him on, all right? Harper is fouled. Fouled by Kerr. Incidentally, Michael Jordan with a day of rest. The Birmingham Barons have the day off. They are in Orlando. They will resume against the Orlando Cubs tomorrow. So I would assume that Michael is watching. He's in your hometown of Orlando. I guess he'll be at the Gucas household for a little barbecue later on this evening.
Marv, I would venture a guess that he's probably playing his 34th and 35th and 36th hole of the day on some nice golf course. But I'll tell you what, if Michael Jordan misses the NBA in any way, this would be the time of year, and in this particular series where he had so many terrific games over the years, and I'm sure he misses just a little bit.
Last year's playoffs against the Knicks, Jordan averaged 32.2 points per game. And the foul is called, an elbowing foul on Ewing, flashing the elbow at Cartwright. That's 3 on Ewing.
Well, every time there's a little bit of a break in the action, all the players are looking to the officials and say, hey, watch the hand checking. They're putting hands on people. Normally, John Starks is getting hands into people. He loses Pippen here, but Patrick Ewing getting a little bump in there to knock Pippen off his particular cut. And Ewing saying all the pushing and shoving that's going on and all the grabbing and holding, and you're going to call that foul, but the officials have a responsibility here to keep this thing under control.
Scottie Pippen with an outstanding performance. 17 points along with 5 assists. The Bulls 61 and the Knicks 47. Just under 6 minutes remaining in the third. Patrick Ewing again facing the double team. And the foul. Cartwright charged with his second.
A good idea defensively. Wait for Patrick Ewing to put it on the floor. Come to double team with the big man. Ewing sees it coming, turns away from the pressure, and shoots that soft little jumper. But he went to the floor very, very hard. People wonder why you double team, why you don't. Coaches and good teams do not like to double team because it messes your defense up. It enables somebody to get an open shot, and it hurts you on the defensive board because there are lanes open to cut there, and that's why good teams don't like to double.
Three-point play by Ewing. He now has 10 for the game. The Bulls lead by 11. Armstrong working off a screen. P.J. Armstrong has hurt the Knicks. He now has 15. During the regular season, he had one sensational game against the Knicks. That was earlier in the season where he single-handedly led Chicago to the win. They only win by the Bulls over the Knicks during the regular season. That was in Chicago. Oh, what a play by Pippen, knocking it out of the hands of Starks, but he knocked it out of bounds.
Scottie Pippen has the green light defensively. Oh, it was Pippen out of bounds as he's able to chase people all over. This time he gets help from the man inside, but he keeps coming to get that ball from behind. But Scottie Pippen, anytime he feels the opportunity, jump in the passing lane, leave his man, go double team. That time he was chasing his own man, John Starks.
Scottie Pippen arguing with Ed Middleton. Knicks get a new 24. We come up on 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And a foul call. right on the intercept, but a push out indicated. So Cartwright commits his third.
Bill trying to work to get around and front Patrick Ewing to limit his catches. That time got caught being too physical.
Bulls have led by as many as 15 points. Ewing off the fake. Starks for three. Now Starks has been way off. Starks 2 of 8 from the field, but when the shots have not gone down, he is way off the mark. Good double team that time by the Knicks. Here's Davis ahead of the field. The Bulls 63, and the Knicks 52.
Pippen surprised by that quick, sudden double team, and he felt he got hacked on the arm, and that's why he turned the ball over.
Armstrong feeling it. Ewing with the rebound. Starks lost it. Oh, Starks tripped up Pippen. Now, that could be a flagrant right there. Scottie Pippen was about to make his move to the front court.
Ewing coming over to double team again. Arms and hands all over the elbow of Pippen as he felt he got hacked hard, forcing that turnover. And then on the steal by Scottie Pippen on his way to a breakaway, got taken down by John Starks on what looked like an intentional trip. Scottie Pippen turned, quickly looked at Starks, but wisely walked away. Again, the clear path to the basket. Now watch John Starks' feet here, and he does lift that right leg to intentionally trip Pippen. And Pippen looking back, but thinking better of going at John Starks. Wise play by Pippen. Just go to the free throw line, take your free throws, but that's the second time we've seen that clear path play.
It was called a flagrant foul on John Starks.
And that did override the clear path, but that would have been another example. But a good call by the officials. That was flagrant and intentional.
Bulls lead 65-52. Pippen with the save. And Pippen backing Starks. Pippen beating Starks. Then a nowhere to go. Ewing over to help. Starks for Harper, and Starks was fouled. Foul called on B.J. Armstrong.
Well, we're seeing a lot of poise and restraint on the part of both teams. Here, the intentional grab. I guess people wonder why this is flagrant or not flagrant, but John Starks, he quickly looks at B.J. Armstrong thinking of taking a run, but the players have it in the back of their minds that that is not going to be tolerated. The coaches have warned them about it. Both teams wanting to have their teams stay under control in this ballgame. The basketball is the most important thing.
Scottie Pippen will get a rest. Tony Kukoc back on the floor. Starks guarded by Kerr. That is a leg block. Scott Williams and Charles Oakley in a collision. Oakley went down, and like Williams was shaken up.
And the right side of Scott Williams' head is going to collide with the elbow of Charles Oakley. As he just clipped him with that left elbow and really dinged Scott Williams as Oakley trying to get low post position, something he normally does not get.
Let's go over to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, Scottie Pippen has just injured his right ankle. He has Doc Heffernan overlooking at it. It could be his foot also. And Chip Schaefer, I'll check on it. I'll get back to you with the results momentarily. Marv?
Here's Davis. And Kerr moves it back. Bulls lead by 13. Kukoc now being played by Ewing. And Gilbert Davis got caught in a mismatch with Bill Cartwright, and he's called for the foul. The Knicks are over the foul limit. Well, Scottie Pippen being checked out on the sideline. Those are the hands of Bulls trainer Chip Schaefer. Scottie Pippen came into today with a strained left thigh muscle, said he's feeling better. Scottie Pippen has had an outstanding game. 19 points, 6 of 12 from the field, 6 of 6 from the line. Scottie Pippen has not shot free throws well, but come playoff time, you go back to the series against the Cavaliers and also game 1 today. He has turned it around at the line. Let's get back to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, what happened with Scottie has jammed his right big toe. They are working on it right now, but he is expected to come back into the game. Marv?
Thank you, Ahmad. The Bulls now lead 67-52 with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third. Oh, what a nice lead throw by Starks for Ewing.
Well, the Bulls took advantage of their free throw opportunity to extend that defense, put on some full court pressure, and the Knicks have been instructed to go at it, be aggressive, and that's exactly what Starks and Ewing did.
Bulls now lead by 13. They double up on the ball. Kukoc rejected by Mason. And it will be Nick Ball.
Full court pressure after the free throw situation. The long pass over the top and the alley-oop to Patrick Ewing.
First block of the day by the Knicks just a moment ago. Well, Scottie Pippen has certainly been a target of the Knicks in terms of hard fouls. You go back to game 1 of last year's conference finals. The Knicks laying the body on Scottie Pippen. A hard foul served up by Rolando Blackman. The Knicks hoping to take Scottie out of his game. And then Charles Oakley with a flagrant foul on Pippen. And then just moments ago, Pippen trying to break away from the field. Starks went down, and an obvious trip by Starks, and that was called, understandably so, a flagrant foul on John Starks.
And this all started a few years ago with Xavier McDaniel, who had a lot of collisions with Pippen, and it always seemed that the Knicks were testing Pippen to see if he could take it.
That's an offensive foul. John Starks with the drive, and he's called for the foul. Will not count.
Backcourt pressure again by the Chicago Bulls, and once again the Knicks trying to run right through it. Scott Williams stepping up to the dotted line, but covering up. Crowd not happy with it. They didn't think he took it the way he should have.
What a play by Scott Williams, taking that hit for the ball club. Armstrong getting it over to Kerr. Shot clock at 5. Here's Kukoc. Rebound Ewing. Bulls lead by 13. 2:10 remaining in the third. Brown trying to get the Knicks going. And Jack Madden with the call away from the ball, and Scott Williams is very upset. He's hit with his third personal.
And Scott Williams and Charles Smith all tangled up in the post, wrestling for position. And the call going against Williams. And he right away challenged the officials who gave him that look like, that's the call, get away from me. And a good call by the officials, as you can get away with some bumping and pushing and one arm, but once you start grabbing arms and shoveling people away, you're going to get called for it.
Charles Smith is back on the floor, played 11 minutes in the first half. Here's Horace Grant replacing Scott Williams, who has collected his third foul. He's with a field goal for 2. So Pat Riley has a front line of Smith, Mason, and Ewing, Starks, and Anthony in the backcourt. It's the Bulls 67 and the Knicks 55. Armstrong and Kerr at the guards. Cartwright, Grant, Kukoc up front. Shot clock at 3. Cartwright, yes. The Bulls using most of their 24 on each possession and have been hitting with consistency.
And New York forced him to use that time, but good patience on the other hand by B.J. Armstrong, who didn't force anything. Tried to get the dribble penetration, which he did, and found Cartwright.
Ewing from Smith. Good pass thrown by Charles Smith while in traffic. The Bulls now lead by 12.
You can see all the awful things happen when somebody gets into the lane. The defense has to collapse, and it creates easy scores for a teammate.
Ewing jumping out to help. Shot clock is down to 3. Kukoc. The play by Mason, cutting off Kukoc. Anthony for three. So the Knicks in the midst of a run. This is the sharpest their offense has looked all game.
Forcing a tough shot from Tony Kukoc with the shot clock winding down. That will create some fast break opportunities.
Shot clock at 5. B.J. Armstrong giving the Bulls a 71-60 lead. Now to 25 seconds remaining in the third. Three-second differential between the 24 and the game clock. Anthony finding Mason. The Bulls lead 71-62. Final seconds of the third quarter. Armstrong. Fielded by Kukoc, blocked by Ewing. He thought he was fouled. Did not get the call. After three, the Bulls lead by 9. The Knicks showing some signs. B.J. Armstrong, 6 of 12 for 17 points. Chicago 71. The New York Knicks 62. We'll be back after a word from your local station.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
Back at Madison Square Garden in New York. Happy Mother's Day from all of us at NBC Sports. The Knicks with a 10-4 run to finish out the third quarter. They cut that Chicago 15-point lead down to 9, and Chicago now leads 71-62. And Scottie Pippen apparently okay back on the floor. Chicago only 6 of 20 from the field in the third quarter. They were 51% shooting at the half. So the Knicks with their best offensive run of the game. And it's Nick Ball as we get started in the fourth quarter. Ewing, Smith, and Mason on the front line. Starks and Anthony are back. And Ewing draws the foul. Luke Longley is back in, matched up with Patrick Ewing. And Longley is called for the foul, his second.
Good pressure by Pippen on Starks, making the Knicks use up a lot of time. Ewing got that ball with 4 seconds on the shot clock and had to force a tough shot. Bailed out on the silly foul by Luke Longley. Pat Riley has been selling to his team all season long that we work harder than everybody. We're in better condition than everybody. And the fourth quarter belongs to us. And the crowd has even bought into it. They are expecting a big defensive run here by the Knicks. They normally have at least one great defensive quarter. The Bulls, on the other hand, have to keep their poise, keep running their offense, keep trying to get those fast break chances.
Bulls lead by 7. As I mentioned, Chicago struggling from the field in the third quarter. Grant with Longley and Kukoc up front. Longley from Pippen. Luke Longley has been a major factor. The combination of Longley and Cartwright have done the job. Here's Starks, and he drew the foul.
Here Luke Longley getting the ball, looking for a seam, and there is none as both Patrick Ewing and Charles Smith closed up the lane to the basket, but Longley with an acrobatic shot able to get it down.
Luke, one of, 17 centers on this Chicago Bulls roster. Cartwright, Longley, Williams, Will Perdue not active for the players. Bill Wennington, who has not played thus far today. John Starks to the line. He was fouled by Scottie Pippen. Pippen called for his second. Luke Longley from New Mexico State, a native of Australia, member of the Australian Olympic team in 1988 and 1992, a #1 draft pick of Minnesota, and the 7th selection overall. After 2 years with the Timberwolves, he was dealt to the Bulls in that deal for Stacey King. Steve Kerr given no room by Greg Anthony. The Bulls with the ball and a 7-point lead. Here's Kukoc going left, and he was cut off. The foul on Smith.
Just about every time that Tony Kukoc gets the ball in his hands, he's looking to be aggressive offensively. Take the ball to the basket when he can. He's aware of the shot clock when it has wound down to try to get that shot up. Playing very alert basketball.
And the matchup starts defending against Pippen. Illegal defense call on the Knicks. So that is a warning. Their first violation. Pat Riley taking a 20-second timeout with 10:42 remaining in this fourth quarter, and the Bulls up 73-66. We are concluding game number 3 of our triple-header day of the NBA playoffs here on NBC. More to come next weekend, next Saturday, starting 12:30 Eastern Time. It will be Atlanta and Indiana. The surprising Indiana Pacers. Atlanta finishing off Miami this afternoon at the Omni in Atlanta. That'll be followed by Utah and Denver. How about the Denver Nuggets? One of the most stunning upsets in the history of the NBA playoffs, as they were able to knock off the Seattle Supersonics. And the next Sunday, the day will begin with Atlanta and Indiana, 12:30 Eastern Time. All this preceded by Showtime. Houston and Phoenix following Atlanta and Indiana. And then the New York Knicks and the Chicago Bulls in Game 4 of their best-of-7.
Pat Riley taking that 20-second timeout to make sure that all of his players on the floor on the same page. Scottie Pippen is going to post up John Starks. He wants to make sure who's coming to double team and how they're going to plug the lane.
Bulls have a full 24 to work with here. Kerr allowed no daylight. Kukoc for 3. Tony Kukoc again. The Bulls are 6 for 10 from downtown, and for Kukoc, that is his third. 9 points, all on three-pointers for Kukoc. The Bulls 76 and the Knicks 66. Strong drive by Greg Anthony.
A defensive mistake there by Kukoc as they sent Anthony to the baseline. Kukoc was supposed to get down there and cut it off. He made one step that way and then went in the other direction and left everybody all alone.
Kukoc being bodied by Mason. Mason slaps it away. He's claiming that it was last touch by Kukoc, but it will be Chicago ball with 6 on the shot clock. Timeout taken. Phil Jackson unhappy. He thought there was a foul called.
Miller Genuine Draft presents Genuine Moments.
Today's Miller Moment takes us back to Game 1, last year's conference finals between the Knicks and the Bulls. John Starks, the big gun, he hit 5 three-pointers, scoring 25 points, igniting the Knicks to a 98-90 victory. The 5 three-point shots, a Knicks single-game playoff record. In recognition of this moment, Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. Lead pass broken up, and last touched by Pippen.
And Phil Jackson looking at Kukoc, not happy with that pass. There were just 5 seconds on the shot clock, so they couldn't waste too much time with it, but he thought he threw that into a pack.
Bulls lead by 8. Ewing from way out. And back comes Kerr. He spots it up. That was a three-point attempt. Starks with the good hustle. And then Pippen able to steal. Pippen diving to the floor. Mason on the recovery. Smith for Mason. Sensational hustle by both clubs. The Knicks a little bit more aggressive, though.
And for the first time in this ballgame, in the first 3 quarters, it was all Bulls to the loose ball. That time they got beat.
And Longley turns it over.
You're getting the feeling, the sense of urgency now for the Knicks. They are alive, and this crowd is into the ballgame, and they have pulled to within 6. Mason wants the ball.
Bulls have led by as many as 15. Starks for 3. And a foul call. Well, a moment ago, Scottie Pippen was very upset at teammate Tony Kukoc.
And that's as a result of that side out-of-bounds play with 5 seconds on the clock. Scottie Pippen did not want that particular pass at that particular time, and he let Kukoc know about it. But Tony's used to it. He's been getting hollered at all year long by Phil Jackson, and in some cases, Scottie Pippen, he seems to handle it pretty well.
Pippen was called for that foul, his third. John Starks to the line, where he has hit 6 for 6.
He felt he made no contact at all in that release. One of the big things in the fourth quarter of a game like this, or any game in the NBA, you don't want to get in the penalty. Free throw shooting is going to be crucial down the stretch of this ball game.
The Bulls have 3 team fouls. The Knicks only 1 with 8:47 remaining in the fourth. You saw Tony Kukoc take a seat. Pete Myers has checked in. The Bulls have led by as many as 15. It is now down to a 4-point Chicago lead. A loud chant of defense. Now Mason guarding Pippen and providing problems. Shot clock at 7. Myers gives it to Longley. Rebounded by Ewing. Sets it up. They double up on Ewing. Ewing. And a foul is called. It's on Longley.
Well, Scottie Pippen timed the double team beautifully. He was on his way to Ewing as the ball was on its way inside. Ewing did the smart thing, gave it back out, got it back again, and made the quick move on Longley to draw the foul.
It is called a non-shooting foul. But the Bulls with their 4th team foul.
Did they think he was going to pass it?
Yes. 4 minutes gone by in the fourth. Ewing draws a triple team. Smith from deep. Yes. So the Knicks are within 2. The Knicks with a 22-9 run to cut into that 15-point lead. Charles Smith drills the jump shot, bringing the Knicks within 2. They are going wild here at Madison Square Garden. The Knicks in the midst of a major run. They trailed by as many as 15, and they've cut the lead down to 2. The Chicago Bulls struggling here in the second half after the good shooting first half. Good play by Ewing, knocking it away from Longley. And a foul called. Mason got entangled with Pippen, and for Mason, that is his 3rd.
Scottie Pippen, who doesn't post up a lot, although it's a new part of his game that he's gone to more and more this year, taking maybe not the taller Mason, but certainly the wider and stronger, trying to get him inside. Mason riding him off the block.
John Paxson, who played briefly in the first half, has checked back in for the Bulls. He, of course, has been Mr. May and Mr. June for the Chicago Bulls. Mason doing a good job against Pippen. Now Pippen gets the step. Longley on the back tap. Grant rejected by Smith. And Anthony able to turn it away. Starks played by Paxson. Ewing from Starks. Starks wanted the screen. Now Starks with the step sets up Ewing. And a traveling violation is called. Bulls wanted a foul. They wanted a foul on Ewing.
Scottie Pippen trying to make something happen for the Bulls. Gets the ball over to Horace Grant. Actually, it was after his missed shot, and Grant putting that shot up, not loose. 2 shots there, 4 shots by the Bulls, forced by the New York defense.
Just under 7 minutes remaining in the fourth. Game 1 of the best of 7 Eastern Conference semifinal series. And Chicago clinging to a 2-point lead. Armstrong for Longley. Grant, it counts as the foul. A hold on Smith. And Grant will go to the line.
Very disheartening for New York's defense there. They battled hard. They shut off every lane. Just that extra pass by the Bulls. Longley finding Grant, moving nicely inside to finally get an easy shot at the basket. It's been a long time coming for Chicago. They are really succumbing to the New York pressure right now.
Grant only a 59% free throw shooter. Able to complete the 3-point play. Horace with 11. The Bulls 79 and the Knicks 74. 6.5 remaining. In the fourth, Marv Albert, Matt Gukas, and Ahmad Rashad from Madison Square Garden in New York. Double team on Ewing. Starks. Yes. And it counts. A foul committed by Paxson.
Well, the double team is coming every time Patrick Ewing touches it, either along the lane, and in this case, 2 or 3 steps outside. He gets the ball outside to Starks, who makes the dribble move, and just a little touch foul by John Paxson, who argued on the play, but Ewing doing a good job of getting the ball out as soon as that double team comes, and it is getting the Knicks some good looks at the basket.
John Starks, 9 for 9 from the line. He has 15 points. And again, the Knicks within 2. Anthony got picked off. Brown wanted a foul. Armstrong not able to hit. Rebound handled by Ewing.
Well, Craig Anthony got blindsided. No way a teammate could holler out and let him know it was there. This building is deafening.
The Bulls lead 79-77. Mason double teamed. Ed Middleton with the call, the foul against the Bulls. Chicago over the limit. Pippen called for that foul. That's his 4th.
Well, the double team inside on Mason, who has been effective on that left block, trying to make that move into the right with a little right hook, as both John Starks and Greg Anthony out here at midcourt having a heated discussion about what's going on. I think it was in a positive light, but it was a little bit stronger than chest bumping, as now the Knicks will be going to the free throw line the rest of the way on this 4th quarter.
Tony Kukoc replacing John Paxson. Scottie Pippen has also been quiet in the second half. His last field goal came early in the 3rd quarter. Bulls had a 15-point lead early 3rd, and the Knicks have come from behind to tie the game. 79. The last time they led, it was 18-17. 5:40 remaining in the fourth. Grant played by Smith. Shot clock at 4. Pippen trying to go glass. Rebound Pippen. And he will regroup. And again Pippen backing his way on Starks. Smith came over to help. The ball was deflected out by the Knicks.
Well, Smith and Ewing were both coming at the same time to turn it into a triple team. Had Scottie been able to see Luke Longley, would have been wide open, but he was already into the act of shooting as he got knocked out.
Pippen is 0 for his last 7 from the field. Shot clock at 10. Grant. Horace Grant with another big bucket.
As he stands on the perimeter, any kind of penetration, his man is going to drop off to help, and it is giving him that wide open 17-18 footer.
Bulls lead 81-79. Starks for 3. Rebound handled by Longley. Now to 4:45 remaining in the 4th quarter. The Bulls with the ball and a 2-point lead. Armstrong battling his way against Anthony. Phil Jackson wants the call on the continuation, but it is called no basket, a foul on Anthony. And for the Knicks, their 14th foul. Here's Charles Oakley replacing Charles Smith. Charles Smith hearing it from the crowd, leaving with 7 earlier this season. Charles not well received by the crowd as he was struggling, but he has come on in the playoffs. Pippen foul.
As that ball was about to be inbounded, Scottie Pippen called that play, looking for a post-up for himself. As Phil Jackson told us last night that the Knicks like to put a saddle on Scottie Pippen and ride him. In this case now, it's John Starks who has the assignment of guarding Scottie Pippen. They want to play him one-on-one as much as possible, make him tough shots, but when he's in that post position, he almost commands the double team.
Foul is called on Starks, his 4th, and Pippen, who hit his first 6 at the line, finally misses a free throw.
So John Starks directing Mason to get in there to block out Pippen, put as many big people on this free throw situation. Although Pippen is shooting them well in the playoffs, he's struggled all season long.
Yes, against the Cavaliers in the 3-game series, 15 of 18. And against the Knicks here, he is 7 of 8 from the line. Bulls 82 and the Knicks 79. 8-2 of this best of 7 here at the Garden Wednesday, and then they move on to Chicago, games 3 and 4 next Friday night and Sunday. Ewing from way out. Patrick Ewing 6 for 13 from the field. Mason with a wild shot. Mason on the rebound. Starks backs to three-point territory. Rebounded by Oakley. And a reaching foul called on Armstrong. Correction, it's Kukoc. Hit with his 2nd. Both teams are over the foul limit.
Ironically enough, after that offensive rebound by Mason and the kick out to Starks, Pat Riley had been signaling for a timeout for the last 10 or 11 seconds. Nobody on his team aware of it, and certainly could not hear, so the Knicks get a break there as they get bailed out on the foul, and Anthony sent to the free throw line. Pat whistling, signaling, doing everything he can to get some attention from his troops, but they're out there battling hard, having a tough time getting good shots. John Starks is getting some good three-point looks, but his legs aren't under him today, and he does not feel confident shooting the basketball.
Chicago with a 2-point lead. Shot clock at 7. Now Pippen posting up Starks. Pippen. Scottie Pippen with his first field goal since early 3rd quarter. And the Knicks call for time. 3:15 remaining in the 4th. The Bulls 84 and the Knicks 80.
Scottie Pippen saw the double team coming, turned away, took his time, eyeballed the glass, and let it go.
What a job by this man, Phil Jackson. He's won 55 games with a team that seemed to sustain a different injury every week. 6 of Phil Jackson's top players missed a total of 192 games because of injury. Therefore, all the different starting lineup combinations. And the Bulls in game 1 of this best of 7 with a 4-point lead on the Knicks. Down to 3 minutes remaining in the 4th. Ewing off the double team. Ewing has it knocked away by Pippen with 1 on the shot clock.
Well, once again, the Knicks wasting a lot of time before they get the ball inside the Ewing. He got it with about 6 seconds on the shot clock. He had to force a shot up.
Ewing gets it off. Oh.
Yes, yes, yes.
And a foul is called underneath. It's on the Bulls. It's on Pippen. That is his 5th.
Well, with 1 second on the shot clock, the quick inbound to Ewing and the fling at the basket, everybody turned to look. off, and then Pippen and Mason battling for that ball, and a call going against Scotty, and still a lot of time left in this game to lose Scottie Pippen. 2:53. He'll have to be very careful, as Mason has really made a big contribution in this ball game. Looks like he wants the ball inside. He's been active on the boards. Has used that little right hand hook very well, and Anthony Bonner has not been seen very much at all, if at all, in this second half. It's been Mason and Smith.
Anthony Mason, 72% free throw shooter. Bulls lead by 3. 2:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. Now Pippen guarded by Mason. Ewing stepping out on a switch. Pippen. And he has been off in the second half. Anthony Starks at the guard. Ewing, Oakley, Mason up front for the Knicks. Starks for 3. Get a good look, not able to hit. Oakley is inside. He hits, and the foul.
Well, this is what the Bulls were afraid of. The shooting from outside and the board work of the big studs of the New York Knicks, as Mason, Oakley, and Ewing have been hammering that glass, and the Bulls cannot keep them off the board.
Foul called on Longley. Timeout is taken. 2:11 to go in the fourth quarter. When we come back, Charles Oakley will go to the line, hoping to tie the game. Well, the New York Knicks and the Chicago Bulls are meeting in the playoffs for the 4th straight year, 5th time the last 6 years. Bulls have won all 5 of their all-time playoff series against the Knicks. We mentioned right at the start, the Bulls had felt in the past they had to get by Detroit to finally make it to the championship possibility, and they certainly did, and they've won 3 in a row. The Knicks feel the same way about Chicago. This is a Knicks team that took 3 of 4 against the Bulls during the regular season. A Knicks team that beat the Nets in 4. Chicago able to make their way to this round by sweeping the Cleveland Cavaliers, although they did not have an easy time. And Charles Oakley completes a 3-point play. He's tied the game at 84. We come up on 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. The last time the Knicks led, it was 18-17. The Bulls have led by as many as 15. Here is Pippen. He has been off in the second half. Oakley with the rebound.
Well, the thing that broke the continuity on that play, Horace Grant putting it along on the deck for no reason at all, and it forced Pippen to get a bounce out. I'm surprised they did not go inside to Pippen.
Pippen 3 of 12 from the field in the second half after the outstanding first half. Starks for 3. Rebound handled by Mason, but a loose ball foul has been called. Now both teams are over the limit. Mason and Oakley in a discussion with Jack Madden, who wanted no part of the conversation, and the foul is called on Oakley. That his 4th.
Well, despite the fact that John Starks is 0 for 5 from beyond the arc, the Knicks don't mind him taking that shot. They know he's a kind of guy, he's a streak shooter. They want him to keep that confidence. They're going to need those kinds of shots from him as they go through this series, and hopefully for them on to the next round. But Scottie Pippen, despite the fact he's 3 for 12, I still think the Bulls have to go inside to him because he creates problems for the defense. He's being guarded by Mason right now. Might not have to be double teamed, but any strong move to the basket, the officials will probably give Pippen the call.
Scottie Pippen with the words "for Pete" on his sneakers. And Scottie has done it at the foul line. He's 9 of 10. He has 24 points in all. The Bulls, not a good free throw shooting team during the regular season, have been superb here tonight. 18 for 20 from the line. And Chicago leads by 2. Minute 25 remaining in the fourth. Ewing getting inside. And he's tied the game at 86. 18 for Patrick Ewing, who has been held in check.
Coming out of the double team, patience, reestablish good inside position. One of the best offensive sequences by New York today.
Ewing again jumping out on Pippen. Shot clock at 6. Longley trying to set the screen. Pippen with nowhere to go. Shot clock down to 1. Pippen fires. Starks with the rebound. Starks looks for Mason. The Knicks have taken the lead. 88-86. Chicago wants to talk it over.
Well, John Starks had a fast break opportunity, turned away, but the Bulls making a crucial error there, not getting back in transition defense. Heads up Starks to Mason.
Well, tonight, after we conclude our NBA playoff triple-header, the action continues here on NBC with an alien encounter, an all-new Sequest adventure. Then stick around for the box office blockbuster Thelma and Louise, starring Susan Sarandon and Gina Davis. That's coming up tonight, following the Knicks and the Bulls. 2-point lead for the Knicks. 35 seconds remaining in the fourth. Armstrong forced it up.
He forced it out, but the Bulls were looking for a 2-for-1 situation. There's a difference on the shot clock by about 7 seconds. So even though it was a force, Phil Jackson instructed his team to look for a 2-for-1.
Knicks have 3 timeouts left. Chicago 1-20. Knicks in no hurry. Now 5 on the shot clock. Anthony pumps from 3-point land. Air ball. And Chicago claiming that it should be their possession.
And the Knicks are claiming that it grazed the rim, which would have started a new shot clock, and the ball taken by Anthony Mason, and they win the argument.
8 and 2/10 seconds remaining. The Bulls must foul. Although they're over the limit, Kerr gives the foul. Starks is the man the Knicks would prefer going to the line. He's 9 for 9 from the line. 5 and 3/10 seconds remaining. The Knicks have come from 15 down, lead by 2 as Starks heads to the line.
Well, the long shot by Greg Anthony is just going to tip the side of the rim, and Anthony Mason picking off the offensive rebound to get the new shot clock. Or not necessarily shot clock, just not getting the 24-second violation.
Ball must hit the rim, and according to the official, it did. Knicks with a 3-point lead. John Starks has done the job at the foul line. The Knicks turning it after the poor first half. Starks hitting on both, and the Bulls take a timeout. It's a 4-point Knick lead with 5 and 3/10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. All right, here's another look. My call was air ball from our angle, but you take another look at it, and it appeared that it did, as we see it from that angle. No question it hit the rim, and the ball then was presented to the Knicks. We'll be back in a moment. Reminder tonight, following the Knicks and the Chicago Bulls as we finish up our NBA playoff triple-header, Sequest and then Thelma and Louise. The network television premiere of Thelma and Louise following Sequest right here on NBC. The Knicks with a 90-86 lead on the Bulls. 5 and 3/10 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Chicago down to 1:20-second timeout. The Knicks able to turn things around after the poor first half. The Bulls with a superb performance in that first half. Patrick Ewing certainly held in check, although he now has 18 points, 12 rebounds. John Starks doing it at the foul line for the most part has 17. Scottie Pippen leading Chicago with 24, but he has been silent in the second half. 1 for his last 12 from the field.
And what so many teams fear when they come into Madison Square Garden, that killer defensive quarter, and it has come in quarter number 4 as New York has outscored Chicago 28-15.
Pippen will throw in from the midcourt area. The Knicks do not want to foul. Pippen's cross-court Half-court pass is handled by Kukoc, but he threw it away, and that will do it. The New York Knicks have defeated the Chicago Bulls 90-86 in Game 1 of this best of 7. For Matt Kukoc and Ahmad Rashad, I'm Marv Albert. This has been the NBA on NBC.